Jesus, he wants you to come and see his works, see his miracles, see who he is, see who you are through him. That's what he calls us to do. He calls us to come, and we are going to trust him and follow him, and then he'll take us to the place. Sometimes we don't know where we're going, and we ask him all the time, where are we going? I know I do. And he wants us to wait on him. He's not just going to give you this answer. So he's not a genie in a bottle. We shouldn't treat him like, I ask and I'm worthy enough to get an answer. No, like he wants you to enjoy the process as you go on, because all he wants, the main thing is he wants you to just soak in his presence. That is the end goal. That's where you're supposed to be going, is literally just right here in the now. It doesn't matter about your end goal in 5 years, your end goal for 2024, 2025. It doesn't matter about that. It matters in the present moment, because the journey is what matters. He wants you to, no matter any circumstance, see him through it, because he is the end goal. In John 2, we see two parts to him. He is both a celebratory, joyful, loving God, but he also is a just God, and he gets frustrated and he will cast out his wrath against us who sometimes, let's be honest, we disrespect him, knowingly or unknowingly. We disrespect him and we dishonor him, and we fall short every single day. But out of his love and kindness, he has grace for that. But he also calls us out of that. In John 2, we also see that he defies the mundane with a miracle. He turns water into wine. He clears the temple courts. He clears it because of his frustration. And out of frustration can come a cleansing. It can come a new way. So when we think, oh, Jesus flipped tables, like, oh my gosh, when we think about that, it's like, yes, of course he flipped tables. Of course he got angry. He also was happy. And anybody that is human can feel both happy emotion and also anger. That's not because he was flawed or sinned or anything. It's not a sin to get angry. It's a human emotion. And Jesus was human. And once we really understand that there's a unification between two becoming one, I mean, think about it. The first part of John 2, it was him turning water into wine. This was the first public miracle at a wedding, a celebration where people were enjoying themselves and kind of like letting loose. And when it was running out, when the joy was, quote unquote joy, I mean, wine isn't joy, but you get what I'm saying, I hope. Like, it was kind of running out, and his mom requested that he gets more wine, and because she knew his ability, she knew that he could, and he did. And I think that it's amazing because water is changed into wine, becoming one through Jesus. Also, we become one through Jesus. We become one with the Father through Jesus, and the Father and Jesus become one. I mean, that happened when he resurrected from the dead and he defied death. He is a death defier. He is a miracle worker, and he's generous. You know the reason why he got so mad in the second part of John 2 is because the people were not treating the ways that they were going about it generously. They set up the temple courts for a money exchange. It was all about the money. They were making money an idol, and they were selling and exchanging sheep and cattle and all of this stuff for their own purposes, their own goal. But God wants us to step out of our own goals, out of our own end goals, into his. And we can just know that by praying about what his desires are, because when his desires meet your desires, that's when that two becomes one, and that's when the come and see comes into play. because you come to Jesus and you see what he can do. He will do miracles in your life. Just keep on following him.